Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of The Expendable Show. I'm your host, The Expendable. That's my DJ voice, Shauna.
Oh my God.
I should be on the radio, like getting some beats down, like. But let's get to business. If you like my show, like, subscribe, ding the bell, and then we will do
Isn't it down there at the bottom? Yeah.
book promo.
Ooh.
No, yeah.
Other way.
If you like reading books, I do. See, you're like Vanna White. You're supposed to go like this. Wait, I'm going the wrong way.
Well, it's on
But if you
this
like
side.
reading books, please. Yeah, it screws me up too. But the Swiss Effect, it's out everywhere. Barnes and Noble, Amazon. It's through my publisher as well, which is Archway Publishing. I'm very proud of this book. I put a lot of time and effort into it. It's basically like pretty much classified as an investigative journalist publication of an investigation I did over the money trails of the European oligarchs. So if you like to know who's really being bad in the world, there you go. I just did all the work for you. So there's that. Next item up for bids. So we actually have a celebrity in the chats today. Jenny Lynn Gleave. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's a TV producer, personality. She hosts her own show. And she is watching today. And so I have gotten to know her kind of by accident. She was just flipping through TikTok one day and found one of my videos, and she watched it, and then she sent me a message. And so we've been talking ever since. And I've highly enjoyed getting to know Jenny Lynn. She's a fantastic woman, and she is actually going to be interviewing me tomorrow on her show. We'll be recording it, so I will share on all my social medias as soon as that comes out. But I'm very excited. So for those of you who might not know what to expect for this interview, this is going to be a different side of me that people that are close to me do not ever see. I only have maybe a very, very tiny small handful of people that know some of these things about me. So I'm not going to spoil it and spoil the show because Jenny Lynn's she knows what she's doing. She's going to walk us through all this stuff, and it's going to be fun. And she just said it's a pleasure to interview me tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm ready to go. We're going to talk about it some more as soon as the show's over. And it's going to be a good show. Everybody, I hope you all tune in and watch it. And like I said, I will post it as soon as it's revealed to the world. So thank you, Jenny Lynn, for all that you've done. And hopefully we can continue our friendship throughout many years. Hopefully, if England doesn't get to me first, we have to keep that in mind. The Brits, they don't like me. I did have one British lady on my Facebook told me that she does like me. So, but I've still got my antennas up. It might be a trick. They're trying to soften me up. So next, then on Friday, so I will be interviewing on my show here, an up and coming celebrity. Her name is Sarah Lucian. And so I'm excited about this one. I kind of accidentally came across her. So we've been also talking for a few days now and kind of getting our ducks in a row. I've been feeling her out, finding out what her platform is. And so I have, I after hearing her story, she kind of, filled me in on where she started and where she ends. And so we're going to interview, and I'm going to share her story with you and what she does and where she's come from and where she's going. So I'm very excited about that too. So if you don't know who she is, look on my Facebook page. I've been posting about her. I've also been posting about Jenny Lynn on my Facebook page. So if you guys want to read up on those two, the next two events I'll be doing, please do. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun doing these next 2 days. So wherever Shauna went, but I was going to ask her a question. Oh, there she is. She's eating. Shauna, you are finally back to the show after your hiatus. Where have you been?
I was on vacation. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. I have a life outside of work, you know. No, you don't do vacations. I do.
I want to do them, but people don't let me do vacations. So Shauna just got back from Texas, and I saw she sent me videos. She was doing ATVs and side-by-sides out in the desert, and it looked like a bunch of fun. So I'm a little bit jealous that I didn't get to drive fast things. Oh, I know. It looked fun. It looked like you guys had a blast out there.
We did.
So I'm glad you're back, though. You didn't get smuggled across the border or anything. So that's a plus.
There was a couple of times it was looking a little shaky in the airport. Not even gonna lie. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, you made it though, so that's good. You made it back.
Yeah, I'm okay. It was fun though. Had a good time.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. Sometimes it's good just to get away for a little bit. I'm due for a trip. It's about time. Like Puerto Rico. I need to go to Puerto Rico. I don't know why. I just keep getting told I need to go to Puerto Rico.
Maybe they trying to smuggle you.
I think they want me to go clean up the trash.
Oh my God. Here you go.
I'm gonna take Trump's dumpster to his trash dumpster. And
okay.
Go over there.
All right, let's get into the show today.
It is a fact they have 32 landfills in Puerto Rico. That's too many.
Yes, it is. We've covered that before. Shout out to Puerto Rico. Kate, what's going on to you out there? What are we talking about today?
So Trump he just literally made this announcement just a little bit ago, but he just announced and this is kind of significant for companies like us, Shauna, and a lot of other like small, I guess we're kind of like a medium-sized business, I think. But for small businesses, people trying to get their businesses off the ground, he just named Georgia's own Kelly Loeffler as the administrator to the Small Business Administration. So I'm excited about that. She's an entrepreneur. She's a billionaire. She's built her business through Atlanta in Georgia. So I'm excited about that. She's a very, very, very smart businesswoman. So I'm excited to see what her plan is for small businesses, because she's kind of one of the last ones to get nominated. So I don't know what her platform is yet. So I'm going to be watching that to see exactly what she's planning on bringing to the table. But judging by her successful businesses, I would say that we're in pretty good shape with her. Plus, Trump has a lot of business people in his cabinet. So I think we're going to be okay financially. I know a lot of Democrats out there. I've seen it on all the social medias. They're continually going, all he's doing is putting billionaires in there. No, he's putting successful business people in there. We're in a recession. We're in a inflated economy. What better than to bring some business people in to say, okay, let's get this under control. So I think between all the big heads of the world, I think they're going to figure this thing out. We're going to get our economy back under control. Like Trump did bring out the heavy hitters for the economy. So I'm excited about that. And everybody should just sit back and just let those guys do their thing. You don't become a billionaire by making bad decisions. So what do you think about that, Shauna? Do you need some more money?
I'm so excited because that means I can take more trips.
I know, right? Remember when the air prices were so low? Man, we could fly anywhere. I could fly to work every day.
Oh man, I wish I would have took the flights when they were like $30. That would have been great.
I know, that was crazy. Well, maybe we'll get back to that, and then we could go farther than Puerto Rico. Huh?
I'm down. So down to do Puerto
Bora
Rico.
Bora. We're going to Bora Bora.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm putting my phone on Do Not Disturb.
I'm just gonna walk outside of my hut that's over the top of the ocean.
Ooh,
and just
we gotta do one of the. We gotta do the where they do the drones and they take pictures of you in the clear boats. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah. Just like they have on the what's that that company that makes the little glue that they glued the glass boat together and then
oh yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I'm drawing a blank on that right now. It's driving me crazy.
No, I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cool to have a glass bottom boat so you can see everything what's swimming around underneath you.
I did it when I went to Mexico. They have them there too. You can do like the little scuba boat thing or whatever it's called. I don't know.
I've never done those. But it looks
they're pretty cool. But anyways, that sounds fantastic.
But the Atlanta Aquarium's kind of like that. You're just in a glass tube and you got these like massive like whale sharks like swimming over the top of you. There was like a submarine like going over the top of you. It's pretty cool. I like the Atlanta Aquarium. It's really nice. If any of you ever come down to Atlanta, please go to the Atlanta Aquarium. It's so cool. It's right by the College Football Hall of Fame. So if you like football, it's right there. It's like you can do all that stuff like right there. There's all kinds of stuff to do.
Yeah, Sweetwaters. It's all of that stuff right there. No, thank you, baby. That's yours.
Right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But always remember, you are one wrong turn away from the hood.
Oh, God, here you go.
Keep that in mind. If you make a right, if you take a right, just jump out the car. It's true.
It's all safe. You're all safe. Literally. Good.
I did.
I used to walk those streets all the time when I was younger. It's okay. You'll be okay.
That was like 5 years ago.
No, 5 years ago. Anyways.
So there's some talk going around Washington, especially in the Biden administration, that Joe Biden's thinking about doing some preemptive pardons for some of his cronies, and some of the names getting thrown out there is Alex Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, and even Anthony Fauci. Why would he need a pardon? Very interesting. So I think just for them that they're having this conversation about preemptive pardons ahead of time before they even get charged tells you that they're probably going to get charged. So, which they should anyway. I am heavily campaigning towards them going through all of the insider trading of every congressman in the United States. I think that needs done. These guys go in, they get their $150,000, $170,000 salaries, and somehow in the first couple years they're there, they make $30 million. Make that make sense. Whatever jobs they're doing, I need it. I want to make $30 million in like 2 years, doing just by being a congressman. Huh? It's amazing how good they are at investing.
That don't sound so bad.
Yeah, that's a good deal. And then you don't even have to listen to your constituents. You just do whatever you want. See how that works?
As long as my pockets are good.
Right. See, as long as you're rich, who cares? So that's a thing that's going on. To me, it looks like an admission of guilt. It looks like they know something's coming, and it is. And Trump's been talking about it for a while, even though he kind of flip-flops back and forth on it a little bit about, I'm going to prosecute these people. And then he's like, well, I'm going to use my success as the get back, which I'm all for either way. I think if Trump completely flipped this country and just rebuilt the whole thing and made it successful after 4 years, I think that's phenomenal. But at the same time, we can't have this elitist like mafia sitting in Congress all the time. That's constantly, funneling money, insider trading. And I think at one time they had added it up. There were over 1,000 felonies in Congress. Like, that's what we're putting in there. I'm not saying that felons can't be, obviously Donald Trump has a felony. But these guys don't stop. They just continually keep doing these same things that they keep getting in trouble for. And then they get the legal system to wipe everything under the rug all the time. And it's going to catch up to them. It's definitely going to catch up to them. And I think it's going to happen in the next couple of years. And, as the new Department of Justice goes in and starts looking at these people, I would also like to find out, which of these guys has ties to actual other governments. We all know that Tim Walz had some deep ties to China. So I would like to see exactly how deep those ties are. I have suspicions, but I can't say definitively one way or the other. But I would think that if 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 1 probably equals 3. So, we really need to look at those kinds of things, because if we have politicians that are in office and they're selling us out, we can't have that. That is not going to be productive to the American society. So that's my spiel for the minute. Next, some weird stuff has been happening all over the place. And to me, it shows that maybe I feel like the energy of the world is unbalanced. And I think that's why we're seeing these things. In my opinion, think that maybe a company that has an acronym that may be in a country called Switzerland could potentially have done something that has sort of lifted the veil. So that was dramatic, wasn't it? We've lifted the veil. But I think something has happened. And, you look at the fire just recently where William de Rothschild, he was killed in a fire at his home. And so I saw pictures of his home. Shauna, have you heard this story?
Mm-mm.
Okay. You were on
I've been off of social media for a while. Yeah. I'm just now getting back to the world.
So in Los Angeles, William Rothschild's house caught on fire and he died in it. A Rothschild. But they say that he is like a black sheep of the family. He was 87 years old. So when I was sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, well, how did this guy has this big giant mansion? He has all these rooms he could have been in. How did he die in the fire? Like, come on. But then he's 87 years old. It probably didn't take much for him to get smoke inhalation, and he probably just fell over. So,
if there wasn't any underlying issues as well. You know what I'm saying? He could have had other things, and this could have just been the tipping point. 87 is it's up there. That's up there.
Well, then, so I haven't seen anything. So this happened 5 days ago. So I haven't seen anything where the fire marshals have come out and like determined how this fire started or where it started at in the house. So I'm waiting on that information to come out so I can kind of get the grid of his house and kind of look at it and see, in the forensics side of things, like where I think that this all could have happened and how it happened and where he was at in the placement of the house and where the flow of the air could have went. So there's all these little nerdy things that I'll be doing when that comes out. But anytime a big name pops up in a fire like that, you automatically think conspiracy. So I'm not going to get excited about that yet because it could have just been a fire. Maybe he passed out while he was cooking or whatever. We don't know. Maybe he was smoking or something. And I don't know if the guy smoked or not, but people catch stuff on fire all the time. When you're from the country like me, you will catch stuff on fire. That is something we do. And sometimes the fire gets out of control. I'm not going to say any names, but we may have caught a car on fire one time that was stuck at the top of a hill that we couldn't get the car down. So we thought, well, maybe we'll just catch it on fire and it'll come down. It didn't work. The cop showed up instead.
I don't know. It's kind of, it's weird because I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I'm like looking at it now. It's weird.
Yeah. It's odd. Especially it's a Rothschild, that's one of the biggest banking people on the planet. So I'm gonna keep following it just in case some hokey pokey happens. It took 45 firefighters to put the fire out. That's kind of a lot of firefighters. But it was a decent sized property. So I mean, and it was there. It looked like from the pictures I saw that there was a lot of trees. So maybe maybe there were some trees that were, on fire a little bit. Now the next weird thing, just today, Donna, just today, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot in the back and killed in front of a Manhattan hotel today. This dude's a big shot. This is like,
yeah, I seen that this morning. I seen that.
So did you watch the video?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. My children are screaming.
Look, that was a hit. That was a professional hit.
Like I seen they made the announcement that he was shot today, but I didn't see like the actual video of the shooting. So
yeah, I watched it as soon as I got home today, and I dissected it, and that was a hit. That there was to me, the video is kind of blurry, but it looks like he's got a suppressor on the end. I'm pretty sure there's a suppressor, and then he had this thing.
Didn't they come out and say that he did have one on? They said he had a silencer on it.
It looked like it in the video.
Yeah, they came out and that's what I saw, that they came out and said that he did have one on there. So yeah.
So I haven't had any time to really dig into this yet. I just watched the video one time, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that is a suppressor. Do you know how hard it is to get a suppressor in America? It's hard because they have to be custom made. So that is a.
I mean, it was definitely a hit because even if you look at it,
you gotta know somebody.
She runs right past. Like there's a lady that was standing right next to him, and he let her go, and she ran away. So yeah, oh wow, I'm looking at the video now. And that's insane.
So he had basically the most bland outfit you can have on. It was dark, but it was all gray, nothing flashy, nothing that stuck out as identifiable. He had a backpack, he had a mask on and a hood, and he just walked up. And he took an assassin's pose, shot him in the back, and then calmly walked away. And he got on a bike, and then they lose him.
Yeah, they're all automatically. They're already calling him an assassin.
Yeah, so I am going to do my investigative work, and I am going to dig into Mr. Brian Thompson and find out what kind of nonsense he's involved in. So that's going to be my little project for the weekend, I think. I'm going to look into this guy and see why would somebody want him dead.
I mean, we can name 1,000 reasons why somebody would want him dead.
I mean, number one, he's a healthcare CEO.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a million people that want him dead. Like, where do we zero down the list?
It has to be somebody significant enough to be able to hire an assassin that's that good, that has the equipment available to get the job done. So I'm going to be looking for certain names because I feel like something is going to jump out at me. Also, this week, South Korea, if anybody's paying attention to South Korea is in martial law right now. It's a mess over there. They've got opposition. This is supposed to be.
I was reading some of it, and I was like, I'm not even going to dive into this.
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated, and they're arguing over whether or not the martial law should even happen. So there's a thing going on, and one thing I want everybody to pay attention to. So we all know that South Korea and North Korea do not get along. So is North Korea capable of taking advantage of this opportunity of having a broken South Korea and attack them? I would think if you have your opponent that is wounded, I would probably try to cut the head off. So that's me, but there's with America being tied up in so many different things, and no one over here is agreeing on anything. So if North Korea attacks South Korea, I'm not sure there would be a lot of help for South Korea. I may be wrong, but I feel like that the world is discombobulated enough to where it's going to be a free for all here pretty soon, and every man for themselves. That's my opinion. And you can thank the Biden administration.
Yay. So much fun. It's like being on the Squid Games. Let's just see what the outcome is.
It is. See what happens. Let's just give them tasks and see what they complete.
See what they work through. I think it's a great thing.
Hey, that show was disturbing. I couldn't hardly watch.
Yeah, I didn't even finish it all the way through. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like halfway. I was like, yeah, I'm good on it.
Like the writer of this show needs to be evaluated or something. So we also have China's threatening Taiwan again. So we have that. There's all these conflicts about to blow up all over the world. We have no leadership here in America. You know, Biden's been running around doing his world tour.
So I'm so ready for Trump to just come in and put his foot down. Like January can't come quick enough.
Yeah, I agree. I just worry we're almost 30 days away from his inauguration. It's crunch time. People, if the maneuvers that are going to happen are going to start happening now. And, it's hard to tell what people are going to choose to do.
Hopefully it's something good. I'm over all of this. 2024, I'm so ready to put this behind us. It's been too much stuff going on. Like it's just every day, it's just gotten worse and worse the entire year. I'm so over it. Like I'm ready for the new year.
So my official fact checker, my dad, just texted me and said that we do have troops in South Korea. So, which is true. We do partner up with them, and we do have a base there, I believe. But also I want to throw in that Russia has accused the United States of having troops in Russia over by Kursk. So hopefully that's not true. I think Putin is looking for a reason. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I talk about Russia all the time. So here's something I want everybody to pay attention to. And I talked about this in my book because this is actually happening in real time. And nobody's given it any airtime. It's one of them things that nobody talks about. The media don't talk about it for obvious reasons. And it's not being talked about in any of the international news outlets that I watch. But I know because I know things. So we all know what happened in North Carolina and the accusations that the government may have been trying to get to the lithium deposits there. So we do have a lithium mine that's active in Nevada. Okay. So we do have that, but in order for the future to work, they want that North Carolina lithium out of the mountains too. So there's that. Idaho, there is a phenomenon going on in Idaho right now that's been going on all weekend. They're hearing big, loud booms like explosions all over the place. Now, what does Idaho have? They have cobalt. They have a lot of cobalt. What does a battery get made out of? Cobalt and lithium and copper. And where else is cobalt mined at? Congo. Well, Oh, that's right. The French are down in Congo trying to steal all the cobalt out of Congo. We are in the middle of a natural resource theft of all of the resources that they can get their hands on. And if you read my book, you'll trace this all the way back to Europe. This goes back to Switzerland. This is part of their plan. They know that monetary systems are going to fall. And so what backs monetary systems? Natural resources. So they're going to go and they're going to continually steal as much natural resources throughout the world that they can. And we're seeing it in real time right now. And it's a tragedy. There's so many natural resources in Africa that it's insane. And, and you have all of the resources needed to make nuclear weapons is underneath the ground in Ukraine. They have plutonium there, all the nice little goodies that you make nuclear warheads out of. underneath the ground in Ukraine. So we need to pay attention to these things and start looking into them because, you know, I'm not one of those like super, you know, climatologist people or, you know, like, you know, worried about the earth blowing up in a year. You know, Al Gore, I really don't like Al Gore, just so everybody knows. I don't fall for all that. But at the same time, I don't think strip mining Congo with 9-year-old boys making $1 a day is the right way to do it. So I have a problem with that slave labor kind of thing.
Still have said children as young as 4 are out there doing
making
those
Nike
things
in China.
Oh my God. Oh.
So that's a thing. Like the stuff that we enjoy is made from slave labor for the most part. And we need to address that globally and have that taken care of. It's not a very smart thing to have going on. I don't like it at all. So next I want to cover, like, we have to pay attention. Like, the thermometer of the world comes from liberal media. So I pay a lot of attention to how they are reacting, because as we know, during the campaign season, you could tell that the paid influencers on the liberal side were reading off of cue cards, and they had a certain structure that they followed. Well, now that Kamala has lost, now you're seeing this confusion. They don't have their script anymore. And there's nobody in the White House that's leading them. So they're all panicking. And I'm seeing insurrectionist talk. I'm seeing Trump needs to go to jail before inauguration talk. Like, they're coming up with all these crazy lunatic ideas. And so what we need to do is to just let them vent that out. Just let them vent it out. Therapeutically, just let them get it out. And because they're in a panic, because they were fed a certain narrative that they would have their hero, and their hero was going to lead them to the promised land. And then it didn't happen. And then they couldn't figure out why, because their hero was telling them, we're winning in all the polls. Their hero was saying, we're in good shape, but they weren't. And they knew they weren't. And they had hoped that they were going to manipulate enough people to cross over to Kamala. It didn't happen. It got the actual reverse effect, because the Harris campaign only catered to the elites of the world, and the elites in the Democrat Party, and the radicals in the Democrat Party, which is what you see on like X, that most of the people that are left talking about Kamala Harris are the radicals. And so they were fed this narrative. The narrative didn't happen. And now their leadership has abandoned them and said, you're on your own. The checks all stopped coming. So you're seeing this, like, you're seeing an escalation of radical behavior on social media, which is going to lead to radical action out into the world. So I see it coming. I think a lot of people see it coming, and we need to prepare and try not to react, because that's what they're going to want us to react. And so we need to just let them get this, just vent it out. Just let them get it out. And then we'll be able to move on, I think. I might be wrong. Who knows? When you have billionaires that are buying protesters and activists all the time, it makes it hard to just move on from one thing to the next. They want to keep fires lit. So, they are showing this guy again, the assassin, and they don't have like any real good shots of this guy. He's just riding his bike. Shoot the guy, get on my bike, and drive away. Be interesting to see if they ever catch him. I don't think they will. So we need to remember that what we have going on in this world is we have this darkness from this election, and it's encompassing the world. So I see instability. We are unstable, and this could go really bad. But I think that as people, we need to really take a step back and let them get their anger out. Even if they go tear up the cities, just stay out of the way. Don't just let them get it out. We'll build the cities back. Just let them get it out. Shauna, go ahead.
I feel like we've this whole time, like we've just seen so much division under like the Biden-Harris administration. Like even now after the election, there's just so many people that are like, oh, well, it's your fault. It's these people's fault. Like it's so many like people playing the blame game as to why she didn't win. And it's just like, it's the whole time, like under them, you've just seen so much division. Like I feel like it's been worse than ever at like new age point right now. Like It's just bad. Like when you know, we're on social media all the time. We're on Twitter and all those things. I read the comments and stuff, and it's just like so many people are like, oh, well, you should be upset because it was your fault that he's in office. Oh, well, y'all didn't do your job. You should have made sure you voted so she could win. It's just so much like blaming and nobody really taking accountability or being honest right now about what's going on.
Well, and just to bring that up, you know, it's just like what you said, that you're expected to vote a certain way. Well, I prefer individuality. So I would rather see people vote with their belief system. I think that's what voting is supposed to be for. And you know, matching ideologies with certain politicians. I just don't think that you should be forced to vote a certain way because of you know, generation of party politics. That's stupid. I'm not going to ever do it. If we have a bad Republican and as a candidate, and I'm just like, man, I don't align with nothing this guy does, and there's an independent or a Democrat that makes more sense, I will consider those candidates, because a bad candidate is a bad candidate. It doesn't matter what party they belong to. I need somebody that's going to go in there that's going to match my principles, that's going to match my vision for what I want to see America, because I do a lot of homework. So I'm pretty well educated on what I think I want out of this country and how I view the country moving forward. But there's not a lot of people that put that much time into it, and that's fine. And that's why I do these shows, so we can educate people the best that we can, maybe from a right-sided view a little. But I do keep it honest. I'm going to call it out when it needs called out. If Trump makes a mistake, I'm going to talk about that mistake. And we're going to say, okay, well, how could he have done this better? What did he do wrong? And, you know, he's not going to get an exception just because I voted for him and that I believe in his principles. He's going to make mistakes. We're human beings. And we need to remember that and not crucify the guy every time he opens his mouth. And I think that's where the liberals are going to, if they don't stop doing that, they're going to dig themselves into an even bigger hole, and they're going to lose more base.
But I feel like that's why you haven't really seen him say much. Like, I mean, when he was, you know, doing his actual campaign, you know, when he was doing his like actual campaign and stuff, like, yeah, he was talking and giving, but it was always very clear, concise. Like, this is my plan. This is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And like, even right now, like knowing like everything that we're finding out, old Trump, you would have found out through Twitter first, but now like it's being done through actual press releases, you know what I'm saying, through actual accounts, putting the information out. So you really don't even know, like the whole game is so much different. It's so much more serious, in my opinion. Like I feel like even he, like, I don't know, I feel like the first time he wasn't taking it as serious, but now like where we are as a society and as a country, like he's taking it way more serious. Like you don't even see him say anything, which is crazy to me, like at all.
Yeah, and we've talked about this all throughout the election about how well Donald Trump's team ran the campaign. I think it was probably one of the best ran campaigns probably in American history. Donald Trump made a lot of mistakes in his first two campaigns, and I think he really learned a lot from that. And he put the right people around him that would put the brakes on him and say, hey, let's do this quote, let's do this a little bit different, President Trump. And he listened and he was receptive. And so I think whoever was able to get through to him mentally and say, hey, let's think about this before we do all this. And let's maybe look at some different angles. That which we all know who it is. It's and I'm gonna lose. It was a lady. And I can't remember her name is off the top of my head. I should have had this information ahead of time. Now I got to Google it. But she did a phenomenal job, and she's been with Trump for a while. And she's one of those types of people, like she headed up Rick Scott's campaign and won him a congressional seat. So it's just a really successful woman. And I think that Trump has done an excellent job picking his cabinet. A lot of people I'm seeing a lot of banter out there that Elon Musk is the Antichrist now. Because he can't be president. So now he's the Antichrist.
I just don't know how we make this conclusion that he's the Antichrist and there's so many more people doing worse things than him right now, and I just don't get it. I don't get the hate so much.
My wild card pick for the Antichrist is Mr. Beast, because everybody likes him. He makes houses and communities all over the world for free. He gives away money all the time, and the Book of Revelations does talk about that the Antichrist will be someone that everyone likes. So I think it's Mr. Beast, and his name is the Book of Revelations refers to the Antichrist as the Beast. His name happens to be Mr. Beast. Come on now. Come on. This is adding up. You got to admit it adds up. And he likes to drink monsters all the time. We all know the story behind the evil monsters. Right here. Right there. So I'm pretty happy with Trump's cabinet picks. I mean they're gonna run Pete Hegseth through the ringer. I don't like that because I'm actually a fan of Pete Hegseth, and I feel bad that he's gonna have to go through that. I don't think he's gonna get confirmed. I think he's the one that's gonna be the long shot, but he is deserving though. So I don't like that they're attacking him. But he does have a couple skeletons in his closet, apparently. I don't know how true it is though, because I've never really dug into that. Now they're calling him a drunk, that he was drunk on Fox News all the time. I watched him on the weekends. He never looked drunk to me. I don't know. So we'll see.
Well, this is the question. Even if he was a drunk, was he like a happy drunk or a mean drunk? Like, there's the difference. If he was just like a happy drunk, tells those jokes, you can all laugh. Okay, cool. Not so bad.
I mean, he was always, see, here's how I know. Because on Saturdays and Sundays, sometimes they'll do competitions against each other. Like they'll do like the Pop-A-Shot basketball, like out on the street where they compete against each other, and he'll win every competition. So I would think that, if you were really drunk, you're probably not going to shoot baskets very well.
You never know. Some people do really well while they're drunk. You can't say that.
I mean, maybe. I don't, if I was drunk, I wouldn't come close to the hoop.
But that's you. That may not be him. He might be doing his thing. He might be like, you know what? We can do this. Play a little basketball. Either way, until somebody has concrete proof, that's just what it is. A rumor. Have you found what you're looking for yet? Dear Lord.
No. I just know that my guy Doug Collins, he's in there. I like Doug Collins. Linda McMahon as the education secretary. Love that pick. She does come with a little bit of controversy, which we talked about on the show, before. She's not a saint, but she will go in there. She is a worker.
That's the whole thing. Everybody, if anyone that's done politics, they're all gotten their hands dirty at some point. So that doesn't really matter. It's about who's going to do their job. Like, I mean, it's politics. Like, politics can get grimy at a certain point. So, and we all know that. So I don't think that matters. It's really about who's going to do their job.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right.
My children haven't seen me in 5 days, so they have to be near me and be able to see me right now.
Susie Wiles, that's what her name is. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. She was like the very first person he nominated. So Susie Wiles is who ran Trump's campaign. She is nominated as the chief of staff, which she'll walk right into that position. She's good at what she does. They don't really have anything bad to say about her. Another one that popped up was Sebastian Gorka. He is the assistant to the president, which will be entertaining. You know who Sebastian Gorka is, Shauna?
Say it again.
Do you know who Sebastian Gorka is?
No.
He is a very, very bold speaker. But he's on Newsmax a lot. And they talk to him all the time on Newsmax. But he is a huge Trump supporter. The guys are very intelligent. He's on TV all the time. Like, he does a bunch of commercials and everything. But that's pretty much the major news. Just some weird stuff has been going on. Like, things just seem like they're not balancing out right in the world. Like, things are off, and I think everybody feels it. And like, I just wake up in the morning, I'm like, man, it just doesn't feel right out there. We got drones flying around all over the place. I saw me and my maintenance guy, we saw 3 of them the other day on the way home from work, just flying around over by our houses. So there's things going on that don't make sense. And so I'm just going to keep, praying that better heads prevail and we can somehow come up with a peaceful resolution to everything across the globe. I'm ready for a break from all the stress of the world. But then I won't have nothing to podcast about. So I'll be like, man, will somebody do something? It could be. It very well could be.
It feels really weird. Like, I feel like you've seen people be upset and everything, but it's just like like erratic as they were after it had been announced that he won, and it's like now it's just kind of went silent. I don't know. I just feel like it's the calm before the storm. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of like before a tornado hits, like it gets eerily calm and quiet.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
it feels like that.
Weird out here. And then boom.
It feels like that.
Tears your whole house apart.
It's either that or people didn't care enough about the election as they were making it seem. Either or. Either or.
I think a lot of people did not vote. That's what I think happened.
Oh yeah,
a lot definitely. Of people were like, I'm sitting out this one.
Yeah. And those people are very upset. Like, I mean, I saw a lot of that where people were upset. They were like, I should have voted. I should have actually went and voted. Like, I told you about the whole family. Yeah. Nobody voted, and then they were all upset that he won.
Oh yeah, right. That's how it usually goes. The people who are upset are the ones who, well, did you vote? Well, no. Okay, well, what are you complaining for?
Yeah, y'all got to sit this one out. Like, you chose to be along for the ride. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy the success without having to go vote. That makes sense. But that's the show for the day. We will be back. Well, I'll be back on Friday and with my interview. Join me tomorrow as I go on Jenny Lynn Gleave's show, Conversations with Jenny Lynn. And I am very excited for that. I know she is. And it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be different. It's going to be, it's going to be a little bit different of a talk than what you're used to hearing out of me. And I know Shauna is going to be excited. She cheers for my success.
I keep you grounded. I keep you grounded.
Shauna's
always happy, but I keep you grounded.
She's my PR person, so she's gotta keep me in check sometimes. So I'll get a little too excited about stuff.
I think it's time for a pay raise.
I think I'm a C-list celebrity now.
Yeah, that means more stress for me. So I think it's time for a pay raise.
Right. And I'm working on. I still got a couple. No, you're not. I'm ignoring that comment, just so you know.
We'll talk about it later. Anyways.
No, we won't. I'm going to ignore it later. But that's our show for the day. Everybody be safe. Know your surroundings. Stuff's weird out there. Just be careful. Know where your kids are at. Like, just back home, somebody tried to nab up some kids in Bryan, Ohio. Like, know where your kids are at. That's a small town, man. It can happen there. It can happen anywhere.
Literally.
So I will see you guys on Friday. I'm out. Peace.